I'm delighted to welcome today Melanie Smith-Rawlings from the Happy Foot Clinic. Have I got that in the right order, Melanie? I sometimes get your surname the wrong way round.
You did get it right, well done.
Marvellous, marvellous. So you're based in Leicestershire in England. I'm based in Portugal in East Algarve, and the wonders of technology, we can connect just over the internet, which is fabulous. But we were just talking before we came on the recording about connecting colours, and we're both wearing blue, which is a connecting colour, you were just telling me.
Well, blue is the colour of communication. So this is all to do with your throat chakra, and it's about speaking your truth. And this is something that's been coming through in some guided meditations I've been doing. And it's just about this part of the healing journey. And then I was saying the yellow here is all to do with your solar plexus. So this is all about leadership, authority. And again, it's about communicating your message, isn't it? So yes, it was quite interesting. And of course, blue for you is perfect, Elaine, because you're communicating and talking to people. So it's opening up that throat chakra to get your message out there.
Brilliant. So we didn't come on to talk about chakras. We've come on to have a general chit chat, but also for the listeners to hear about your transformational journey, because you didn't always run the Happy Foot Clinic, did you? What did you do before?
For 17 long years, I worked for Leicester Police as support staff, and it was quite stifling being an employee and not realising that I knew I was unhappy there, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. And sometimes you don't always know how to get out of a place and a situation you don't want to be in. And I think it was really the death of my parents in 2007 and 2008 that made me have that absolute enormous wake-up call. And to think, if you don't change your life can be gone. And that started me on a journey towards, well, what can you do that actually gives you some sort of satisfaction? And I talk about this in my book, which will be coming out later on this year, about how I ended up becoming a foot towel practitioner, because it's all about those sort of transformations. It's about, people come with a problem and you're able to help them with it. And there's nothing more satisfying than someone saying to you, oh, yes, I feel so much better now. And I never ever got that from what I used to do. So it's just a totally different place of being. And it's that journey of learning to become somebody new, whatever it is you choose to be, and how then you can use that to help other people just to have a more happier and more satisfied life.
That must be very gratifying for you. So from 17 years working with the police to now meddling with people's feet. How did you get to feet? What was it that attracted you about feet? Some people can't bear feet,
Do you know what? Even saying the word feet sends some people into an absolute tizzy. It's like, oh my God, don't talk about feet. Ooh. But I think it's, I just always hated looking at skanky looking feet, is the truth of it. And it's just like, oh love, you don't have to put those on show. We can do something to make them look better for you. And actually you can do something to make them look and feel better. And something that sort of come out of that, because when I started the business not knowing about business. And that's where you make all the big huge mistakes. And that's a big theme of my book, is it's really about those people who just really start something without having a clue, and all the mistakes that you make. And now I'm able to serve people a lot better because I'm utilizing other things in the business, such as the essential oils. So they have their foot health appointment and they have a lovely foot massage at the end of it. And they're not just getting the benefit of the touch to the feet, because your feet have got lots of reflex points anyway. I mean, I'm not a reflexologist, but there's still a massive benefit there. But they're also getting the holistic and health benefits of the oils, and they get a beautiful sample to take with them. So it's just so satisfying just to be able to help people. But I think it's just what you're drawn to. I don't think there's ever any logic to how people end up doing what they love to do sometimes. It's just there's something in you that knows you can help somebody. And when you can help somebody, that's where those transformations come. And I'm sure you found this, you know, with all your sort of work with psychology and your disc profiles and everything, Elaine, the satisfaction that you get helping people onto that journey of transformation, whatever it is.
Absolutely. It's like when you have that moment where the person that you're helping gets it, it's, you know, it literally is a light bulb moment, isn't it? And you see them kind of wake up, you see them start living, and it's so gratifying. So you, with your what you do with your feet, you can physically feel it, I'm sure, as well as seeing it in the person, because the whole body changes, doesn't it? The whole vibration lifts and the positivity starts coming out.
I think for some people, particularly in lockdown, I've been one of the very few human beings that they've had any contact with. And let's not underestimate the importance of human contact for your health and your well-being. It's so ignored in this day and age. You know, people are sort of on their social media, their phones and everything, but they actually forget that those personal micro interactions are very, very powerful. So it's not just about, you know, getting rid of a troublesome cord or some hard skin that's upsetting somebody, or just getting a woman's nails to look attractive again if they've got some sort of infection there. It's just about that interaction, speaking to them, and letting it be their time for them just to speak. And, you know, used to feel someone's listening and is interested in them.
Absolutely. You mentioned oils. Tell us about the oils.
Well, the oils, it was when I started the business, I was just doing basic foot health appointments, and I realized that I need to do something a bit more, but I just didn't know what to do. So I suddenly thought, well, I'll do a pamper, and well, you need some oils for that. And it was through a friend that does yoga. She had someone who was coming in and showing the oils. This was the Doterra oils, and I totally got that these were really good oils. I mean, you can really feel the holistic benefits. It's all to do with your olfactory system. And you always think smell, it just stops with your nose, but it doesn't. Smells affect you physically as well. And people perhaps don't appreciate or understand that. So I understood that the oils were really powerful. I didn't quite know what to do with it. So the oils, I got this kit, and I got the diffuser, and they were sort of sitting there. It was all very precious and everything, and I wasn't using them. And it wasn't until I actually went to a convention, which was run by Doterra, where they actually explain the oils and how you can use them. And you've got people with their oils, and suddenly someone will get an oil out, and everyone's going, oh, what do you think that is? And then they're like the super sniffers going, oh yes, I think that's, and they were just breaking down what blend of oils that person had put together. And it was just absolutely a wonderful experience. And I realized that, you know, when you've got something as beautiful and as precious as that, it shouldn't be sat on a shelf doing nothing. You should actually be experiencing it and using it. And it's since I've started really sharing and using the oils, and, you know, with the foot massages and everything, that the benefits are coming through, because customers are beginning to get their oils, they're being able to take them home to use them, and they're getting the holistic and health benefits as well. And my day does revolve a lot around the oils. I mean, one of the first things I do, because the oils are so pure, you can take them internally. A lot of oils that you buy, we don't know what happens, but Doterra are so confident of their product. You can trace the journey of each bottle of oil from plant to bottle, and every part of that journey is monitored and processed, and no pollutants, no changes are made to it. So you get the pure essential oil, and that's where nature is so incredibly powerful. And it is really exciting when you know, you give someone an oil to sniff and they go, oh yeah, that's lovely, and you sort of tell them the benefits and they're going, oh yeah, that does fit. And everybody's needs and wants are different, and I don't think anybody should be put into a box. We're a lot more organic than that. And I think what happens is we're all sort of treated the same way when it comes to conventional medicine, as I'm sure you understand, Elaine, that actually it's more complicated than that. We all have such a unique biodiversity that we do need to have different things to help and support that, so that your body and your mind are functioning to the absolute best. But the oils are they're just a journey of discovery. I'm learning something new every day. It's really good fun.
So what are the main oils that you use in your clinic?
The main oils I use in my clinic, well, I usually have On Guard diffusing, because this is the protective blend. So again, it's got those, it's the synergy of the oils in there, so it's giving the benefits of those. And then you've also got, it also helps with your respiratory system as well. And sometimes I might mix that with air, which is also a respiratory blend. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a warming, welcoming environment through the On Guard, and then also helping people for the airways to be opened, so they just feel calmer. Because I think sometimes when people come for appointments, sometimes they tense up a bit, particularly when it's to do with health. Sometimes they tense up a bit, and it's quite funny, you know, when you're doing someone's feet and they think they're helping or something, and the foot tenses, and you go, relax, relax, just relax. And it's just about helping them just to feel a bit more calm and, you know, soothed as well. But with the oils for the foot massages, I will put a choice of about 5 oils out, and I just let them have a smell and decide which oil is calling to them. I don't say anything about the oils that are put there. I just let the person choose. And, you know, everybody is different, but you don't want to overwhelm either. So I think sometimes there's a balance there.
Using our intuition is really important, isn't it? And I guess people will be following their intuition. Their intuition will lead them towards certain oils. I have a whole stack of oils here, and intuitively, and I make up blends that I use for various different things. The one I use every day without fail is a deodorant one, which I mix with lemongrass and coconut oil in a roller ball. That's my deodorant, and it's so simple and it smells nice. Sometimes I put peppermint in there, depends what mood I'm in when I make it up. I use Balance every day as well. I do use that one raw, as it were. I just put drops on my inner, what do you call, my wrists, and then just mix together. But typically you wouldn't put neat oil on, would you? You'd mix it with a carrier, I understand.
The reason for that, and it's kind of sounds like counterintuitive, because I always thought, until I did the essential oil specialist course, that the neat oil would be better. But actually, using a carrier oil increases the efficacy of the oil, so you actually get a longer and better benefit from it. But also, the other reason for diluting your oil is because if it's someone very young or an older person, the skin is going to be thinner and more sensitive. So you need to make it more dilute so it isn't too overwhelming. And I think sometimes what happens when people buy these very good quality essential oils and they're not really being guided and helped in the use, that's when problems happen. So when I onboard people, if you like, to use the oils, I don't just, I do a one-to-one with them to explain the oils they've had, to make sure they understand. And I actually also do a plan for them, and also give them a sheet of paper which explains about diluting the oils and how to do that. Because a lot of people don't know these things. And this is where you get people who sort of go and buy a cheap oil and they're just putting it neat onto their skin and having problems. One, because the oil isn't as pure, but two, because they're not understanding how to use the oil in the most effective way possible. So yes, I do think people need to be guided when they use their oils, and I think that's really important as part of someone's journey, because if you overwhelm people, one, with too many oils, they're not going to know how to use them. And two, if you just start them off, you know, with one or two, it's a much easier journey of understanding and learning. You know, just to move along. Some people will go all in. I mean, I've got an account with me, this lady, and she's just gone all in, but she's already been doing her research, so she was ready for that. But other people, I know, it's just, you know, 1 or 2 bottles at a time, and they're just getting round it, you know, because I think people have to lose all those energies about essential oils that are put out there, because there has been a lot of, if you like, bad press about it. And I know that, I'm sure you appreciate this, the pharmaceutical industry does not want people to be looking after themselves more holistically.
Absolutely, the whole thing is a big scam, isn't it? For something that's you can't patent nature, so that's where they, the big pharma, they still actually use nature, because I mean aspirin is made from willow bark, which is nature, you know, but obviously they do something to it, which they can then patent.
Well,
I went all in.
Yeah, it's the
adulterating nature.
Yeah,
absolutely. You mentioned about, you know, going gently or all in. I was introduced big time when I had my stage 4 cancer a number of years ago, and one of the blends that I've continued for many years, in fact I've kind of lost touch with it, but I need to reconnect, I think, is with frankincense. And I was taking frankincense internally, and that was part and parcel of my one of my wellness strategies to recover. So frankincense oil.
Yes, and actually I was looking at my my books. I love my books. The one thing, the good thing I got from my first, I've moved on to a different upline, that's another story, but my book, so the Modern Essentials, you can see that, so that way, this is a brilliant book, I absolutely enjoyed that. And then I've finally got myself onto this one, which is the Essential Life. And when I was looking at that, these, it was talking about oils for different ailments. And it's interesting that lemongrass was coming up for cancers. Frankincense, obviously, which I know because of you, but lemongrass was coming up in some different ways. I kept seeing lemongrass from different things, and it just really surprised me, the oils that come up for different things. It's incredible, really, what nature can do. So I actually did use some frankincense this morning before we came online, because I thought I'm just going to tap into that sort of meditative frankincense, opening your mind sort of thing. It's a wonderful oil. It's absolutely beautiful. In fact, I think I really like frankincense in winter for some reason. I really found it beneficial sort of January, February time, when it was a lot darker.
Yeah, I used to take it internally, and then I also used to put it on my skin as well, diluted, you know, in a roller ball thing. And one day a friend of mine, she said to me, I've got to tell you this. She said, you absolutely stink. You think you smell nice, she said, but it's horrible. I can't stand the smell. And she was just so sensitive to the smell of I couldn't even smell it myself. But she said, oh, please don't wear it when you're with me. So I, you know, took it internally, but I didn't wear it on my skin when I was with her, bless her socks.
Well, that's really interesting, because it does show how people get triggered by smell.
Absolutely.
So somewhere in her psyche, frankincense triggers her.
Yes.
And she probably doesn't know or realise that. And I think also it's reflective. Maybe it's her body is telling her she needs it, the fact that she's so tuned into it.
Yeah.
Where I get very tuned into, do you get tuned into people's perfume? And it's like, oh no, the chemicals in that, what are you doing?
Yeah, I
I
can't be
find
near
that
anybody with perfume. It just makes my stomach churn. It's horrible because, not because it smells revolting. I mean, I used to splash loads on years ago when before I knew about all of this. I used to put it on my hair. So I say to people, if you want to wear perfume, make sure you put it on your hair or your clothes. Never put it on your skin because it's just full of toxicity, chemicals, etc. But the reason it triggers me is because I think, oh, you poor thing, you don't realise the damage you're doing to yourself. And when you walk past these perfume shops, I kind of take a step back because it's overwhelming and it's not nice. And do you find that you get heady when you're near smells that don't serve you? It makes me a bit heady.
I find it just it. I never used to notice this because, like you say, back in the day when I went out, it was like you slathered yourself with your perfume, then you slathered your clothes with it and your hair and everything, and you went out smelling like a perfumery or whatever perfume it was you were wearing, and that was just normal. And I think perfume, in terms of scent, is more pressed upon us than ever it was. It's like with clothes, when people wash their clothes, you can smell the perfume and the scents that are going in there. Plus, they've got in their hair products, their skin products, and it's very, very overwhelming. And I think before I used to use the oils, I wasn't tuned into the toxicity of it, whereas now it smells wrong. And that's the only way I can put it. It just smells wrong. It's like, oh my goodness me, do you have any idea of how bad that is? So I totally get why people have got sort of anxiety, stress, and all these other problems. And I think part of it isn't just lifestyle, society, the pace of it, all the electronics and everything. I think it's also the products that are being pushed upon people and the chemicals in there that they just don't know are there, that are also contributing to that toxic mix.
I know several health practices who ask people not to wear perfumes because of the overwhelming smell while people are sitting waiting. It can be upsetting for some people because, as I say, we're all sensitive in different ways, aren't we?
I tell you what, one of the worst things I ever had to go through was when I went, we've got a sort of like a spa weekend or something. We went away, and of course, you're supposed to rinse yourself off in the shower before you go into the pool. And we always choose somewhere where there's like the steam room and the sauna and everything, because Anthony likes to sweat all the out, and so that's great. But the thing is, going into a steam room with a load of middle-aged women who hadn't rinsed off in the shower before, had their perfume and whatever on, and it turned into this very sweet, sickly, horrible smell. And I was sitting there thinking, this smells disgusting. And then part of me just wanted to go, you selfish women, why don't you just go in the shower and rinse up, you stink, you're disgusting. But we don't, we're all very polite about it. So you just get up and, oh, I'm gonna go out of there, that smelled horrible. But people don't realise how smell is a very, very evocative thing. And in fact, with the oils, I've trained to do the Aromatouch Technique, which is it's a very, very gentle massage. It's more about introducing the oils in sequence. So there's 8 different oils and blends that are used. And you ask people before you do the technique, are there any scents or things that you don't like that trigger you? Because sometimes people can get triggered, and then we just replace whatever it is with the carrier oil, but still do the sequence in order, because scent is such a powerful, powerful thing. And yes, it really can trigger people, definitely.
The Aromatouch is a great technique, isn't it? But not for people with cancer, which I'm sure you were told that as part of your training.
Yeah, I think
because the oils are so powerful.
It is very powerful, and I think also people with cancer should really go for specialised massages anyway.
Yeah, yes.
Because of their condition. And I think it's nice that there are some doctors out there encouraging people to do other things for their health, but there isn't enough done for people, you know, going through different conditions and illnesses. And I think also it's just people are just very, very conditioned that medicine is the thing that's going to fix the problem, but really a lot of it is just a sticking plaster.
Absolutely. I'm over here in Portugal to support Maggie, my friend, with a number of projects, and Maggie's 73, by the way. I'm 64, she's 73. Where most people would be hanging up their boots, we're all excited. You know, we're continuing to, we'll go till we drop, because we love what we do. But she's by training, she's a cosmetic chemist. So we have got fridgefuls here of essential oils, fridgefuls and fridgefuls of essential oils. Where she has, she had a business when she was over here in Portugal, making. Portugal is known for its salt, its sea salt. So blending essential oils with sea salts in various different combinations, you know. So I'm blessed. I've got a whole ton of stuff. I've got Doterra oils I brought with me, and I've got some of these other oils that she has. So what I use in the morning, I use, I don't have any chemicals whatsoever in my life, not knowingly. So I use lavender. It varies according to when I make the mixture up, but I use Castile organic soap, liquid soap in the shower, which does everything, my hair, you know, my body. And then my hand wash at the sink and so on. And then I put a couple of drops of maybe lavender or lemon, peppermint. So in the shower, I'm getting the benefit of the oils as well. So the smell, the fragrance, plus also the benefit, you know, on my skin as I'm washing through. So there's so many different ways you can use the oils. You mentioned a diffuser earlier on. I wish I'd brought a diffuser with me. I need to order another one. And I had to downsize when I came over here, and I gave lots and lots of stuff away, including 2 diffusers. But I'm happy that they've gone to very nice, good homes, and they're appreciated. Is there anything that you'd like to tell the listeners before we close, Melanie?
To tell what, sorry?
Is there anything that you'd like to share with the listeners? Anything specific you'd like to share with the listeners before we close on foot care or health care or transition?
Yes, I would love to share some things. Obviously, I've got my book coming out this year, which is all about, it's my journey becoming a foot health practitioner and sort of mistakes that you make. And it really is aimed at people who know nothing about business and or just want to who just enjoys to read other people's stories, if you like, and the things that I did, because I think a lot of books about starting business are the millionaire and the bit about, oh, well, it'll be a sentence, oh, I had humble beginnings, sort of thing, but then it's all the big blah, 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 blah. Whereas I'm really like, well, no, it's not like that. For real people, it is a bewildering, very confusing experience. So I would love it if people want to connect with me about that. I'm trying to build up a little list, just get a little newsletter going to promote that. So when it's launched, hopefully there'll be lots of people joining in with that. And obviously, if you've got any problems with your feet, I have a Facebook group, which is imaginatively called All Your Foot Problems. And people from around the world drop in there with their questions. And I do the absolute best I can to advise them or just to point them in the right direction. Because obviously, as a foot health practitioner, I can't diagnose you, but I can offer some advice, support, and ideas of what the problem could be. And often some people just need to be told, you need to go and see a specialist on this one. So people just need to be told that information just to get a proper diagnosis as much as anything. And then, of course, if you want to know more about the Doterra oils, my Facebook group on the moment is called Love Your Doterra. It may be changing. I'm still sort of deciding for a new name for that. But if you join that group, there is a post in there every day about the oils, different things that you can make with it. This week I shared a recipe on a beautiful cuticle treatment that you could use, and using the oils as well. There's always a food recipe every Friday, so if you want to make yourself something to eat, there's always something there for you, and it's just about sharing the information and supporting people. So I would love to sort of hear from you. If you want to do that, then please do. That would be wonderful.
Excellent. And why haven't I seen any of these posts shared in my group? So the Perfect Health Wellness Club, please Melanie, share your posts into that club. I've had to make it private because, as you know, those of us in the natural health world are trolled continuously, and there's all kinds of things that have happened. Facebook have changed their algorithms in groups, and I was finding I was having some nasty posts, you know, pointless, ridiculous posts on they come in via comments. So whilst we can control the members in the group, the comments, we can't do anything until we see them. So it means managing things are more difficult. So I've made the group private. But the Perfect Health Wellness Club, please share your posts in there. Be very welcome.
Oh, brilliant. Well, yeah, because I didn't know if you cross-populated into other groups, if people would be able to view it if they're not a member of that group. But we can always try, give it a go.
We'll try. Well, you can copy and paste. You know, put it in as a new post if necessary. Just copy yours and copy and paste into mine.
Yeah, it's just sharing the information that Doterra has, because people don't always know how to find information, and sometimes it's just giving it to them, isn't it? But yeah, exactly. I'd love to do that. If it gives people, pop in there a few times with a recipe or just a blend, it just gives something different for people to try out and enjoy.
Exactly, and it's all my group's all about education. It's not about selling; it's educating people. And then from that, people can make their own choices as to what they go with and what they, choose to take up and what they choose not to. But they're educated, and that's part and parcel of what we need to do. The reception, I can see the reception with your visual is getting a bit dodgy here now, Melanie. So I'm going to close. Thank you very much for your time. Just remind people how they can get hold of you. What are your Facebook groups and also your website details, please?
So the Facebook group is All Your Foot Problems. That's for feet, and obviously the Happy Foot Clinic has a Facebook page as well. So go go there as well. And Love Your Doterra has a Facebook page and a group. You can find me on social media, Melanie Smith Rawlings. Find me on LinkedIn as well if you want to find some positivity on a Monday morning. I do a post called #MondaySmile, and it's always about something positive for your health and your well-being. And also the Happy Foot Clinic has its own webpage called thehappyfootclinic.com.
And that's where people can sign up to your newsletter, is it thehappyfootclinic.com?
Yeah, or just send me a message. The web page is in a little bit of a transition at the moment, as all things are in business. It's never static. So we're doing some changes there. And I'm also working out, this is something that's in the pipeline, how to do some sample packs for people for the essential oils with a little info video to explain them to you, so that you've got everything that you need, so you understand your samples, so that you just make a more informed decision before you go forward on your health journey with the oils. And so that's something that's happening at the moment. So there's lots of changes happening at the moment with me in the business. I did a guided meditation last night, and the lady that did it, Nicola, she's absolutely wonderful. She said, I've seen a lot of things happening. There's a lot of shifts and energy shifts happening with you, man. There's going to be a lot of exciting things happening. And I really feel like that is the case, because I'm my head is beginning to align with how I can share this information to people in a way that's congruent to myself, because I think you've got to be congruent when you do these things.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
And in a way that's beneficial to the people concerned, so that they get the value too. And I do think that nobody should ever feel pushed or pulled into doing something they're not ready for. The best transformations happen when you're in the right place.
Indeed, absolutely. So Melanie Smith Rawlings from the Happy Foot Clinic, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing more of your posts on my group, the Perfect Health Wellness Club. That's before Facebook goes, so please sign up, listeners, to Melanie's newsletter on thehappyfootclinic.com, because it's very possible that Facebook are going to be doing even more censoring, and a lot of us are going onto different platforms, and including this private platform that we're doing the recording on, which is why I set it up. Also, I have a Telegram channel, Perfect Health Wellness Club, so do find me on there as well. So have a wonderful day, Melanie, and all the listeners, whatever you're doing.
Thank you.